Dale nomás, Diego.
Sí, 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 estoy acomodando algo en el escritorio porque si me voy a quedar solo quiero tener a la vista todo. Dame un segundito. Tuc, tuc, tuc. Okay, hello, good night to everyone. First of all, sorry about my English. I know it is not perfect, but I'm going to do my best to a good understand between us. Uh, we are going to start 10 minutes past the hour of the seminar. We are going to start with this presentation. We are going to try to put both days in no more than 45 minutes. We think that this is a good time to pay attention to understand the change of rules and all the topics we are going to talk about. Uh, as you know, this seminar is coordinated by South American Athletics by order of the president, Elio Mariño Gesta de Melo, who is greeting for all of you, and by the director of the South American Development Center, Professor Juan Alberto Scarpin. They instructed us to do this actualization in three languages: Spanish, Portuguese, and English. We always we always we always think that the only languages in our area is are English and Portuguese and Spanish, but we have two big countries like Guyana and Suriname that are English spoken. So we are going to try to do all the seminars about technical issues in English for all of you. The coordination, the general coordination of the seminar is in head of Claudia Schneck from Brazil. Uh, There in the slide you can see Marcia Cueto from Chile, Irwin Mena from Colombia. They had personal issues today. They are not going to stay with us, but probably tomorrow you could listen them also. I'm going to be the administrator of the seminar. So please, if you have any question, I am not going to read the chat box. I please raise your hand, and I'm going to open the mic. Okay. Uh, if it is possible for you, we are going to try to advance in the slides, and after 10 slides, I will open the questions. And then again, 10 slides more and open to the questions. Everything okay? Did you understand? Did you understand? It was okay? I suppose yes. Okay. Remember to put your name, your surname, and your country, please. Going ahead. All the people who is old age in the referee situations know that several years ago we had rule changes every 2 years. So we had to wait for 2 years, then we had a new book of rules and a steady gain, but we knew that the rules were for 2 years. Since 2 or 3 years ago, it turned quite different. Why? Because, for example, in the last year we had six changes. This 2024 December, 2025 February, 2025 March, July, two changes in September, one more change in in December 25, and What is more, today World Athletics posted in the webpage one more change, March 2026. So what is important? We have to be updated. We have to check every month if World Athletics made any change of the rules, of the technical or competition rules, because the dynamic is so different. The Council of World Athletics decided in every meeting more important on just few changes, but we have, as you see there, we have in 1 year more than six changes of the rules. So your duty, our duty from South American athletics is to be updated and to transmit, to transfer all the knowledge. All the changes have a lot of topics. Editorial changes, it's not important for us. Grammatical numerical changes, not important for us. And what are really important changes? What I am talking about? I'm talking about changes concerning sports equity, like the shoe regulation. That the shoe regulations are a main topic today, main topic. The technology used, like the video referee, the camera of the in the horizontal jumps, etc., and some clarifications. If you see the book of rules, you can pay attention in the text in green. The text in green are not the rules, but they are clarifications by examples or things that World Athletics seems to be improved or to be more clear. Okay, it's the objective of these clarifications is to reduce errors, mistakes, and discrepancies or discussions that we always have as referees. So we are going to start. We are going to start with the competition rules. Then we are going to go to the shoe regulations. And today we are going to start in the technical rules to finish tomorrow. Okay. Competition rules and shoe rules is the part one of the seminar. The first change, the first amendment, is about the competition rules 12 and 18.1. Remember that when we talk about CR is competition rules, when we talk about TR is about technical rules. Now we are in the competition rules. You all know that in athletics, athletes and coaches, officials have two instances of make reclamations. The first one is the direct protest to the referee of the event, and the other one if an appeal to the jury of appeal. See, okay, the appeal is going to be against a decision of a referee, etc. You know that. Up to this moment, we know that in big competitions, the jury of appeal was mandatory. We have to have jury of appeal. Now, it's just a strong recommendation. Okay, it's not more mandatory, but it's a strong recommendation. So, in important events like World Championship, Olympic Games, the Youth Olympic Games, South American Games, South American Championships, Ibero-American Championships, all what you can see there, it's a strong recommendation to have a jury of appeal, but it's not more mandatory. Okay, it's a strong recommendation. And in other events like national championships, for example, the decision is in head of the owner of the event. For example, if you have a Suriname national championship, the decision if it's going to be a jury of appeal or not is by the Federation of Suriname. Now we go to the next slide. It's in green text. I don't know if in your countries you are using or not video ref, but you know that the video ref is mandatory in the big events. What is the video ref? It's a referee in a closed room with TVs, with the broadcast of the events, and with the chance to see all the situation in slow motion, forward, reverse, etc., etc., etc. This is a referee, also a referee, a world athletics referee, but with more tools to take a decision. So What says here the green text? Remember that the green text is a clarification, it's an example that who is going to have the final decision. For example, when you have the shams referee in the field with a decision, but the video referee in charge of the field events have a different opinion of this. The first of all, if we can take a decision by consensus, this is perfect. But where is not agreement, the decision is the decision of the video ref. Okay? Because this is the person who is in best position with the proofs to take the decision. The only exception that making green text is in the race starts, that in this only this situation, sorry, the start referee is going to take the command on the decision. Okay? This is the only exception. In all other situations, you have the main decision by the video referee. This is CR18 in green, CR22.4, and other technical rules. We had new events in races. The first of the events is the 300 hurdles. Is now in the rules. It said that you are going to have the same height of the hurdles in the of the category of you are competing. If you are senior, under 20, male, female, etc. You're going to have 7 hurdles in the race. The first one is going to be at 15 meters from the start, and then, like in 400 hurdles, you are going to have a distance of 35 meters between the hurdles, and from the final hurdle to the finish line, you are going to have 40 meters. The most important here to know is that this new event is in the rules. It's official. The 300 meters hurdles is official. The other new event is the relay, the mixed relay of 4 by 100. Okay, this is the other addition here, the other amendment. For example, now in the relays world championship, we are going to have this race, and what is important of this is that two things: the order of competitions in this mixed relays will be the same than in the mixed relay of 4 by 400. What I'm talking about: male, female, male, female. This order is mandatory to make a regular event. And then, as you know, if I don't know if any one of you is an starter here, but you know that these starts and the starts of the 4 by 400 meters, we have two long and separated starts from the lane 1 up to the lane 8. So we have a strong recommendation here to have the starter and two recallers at the starts to help the starters. Here in the CR 18.8, in the green text and in the note, it's a situation when you have at the same time, in the same event, a competition under World Athletics rules and the World Parathletics competition. Punctually, it's about the visual impairment athletes who needs guides. You know that sometimes some visual impairment categories of World Parathletics are allowed, or it's mandatory to use guides in the competition. So this is a clarification that said that when there are athletes with visual impairments, the guides here are not allowed in a World Athletics event. Only one exception is based if the event's rules allow it in specific. Okay, so the first about this, guides are not allowed. Exceptions, when you clarify this in the special rules of the events, they are allowed. Okay? CR 22.6, the disciplinary authority of the start referee. You know that In the start team, in the starts team, you have several positions in the competition, several persons working with different duties and responsibilities. One of the position is the starter position. The other is the start referee position. So remember that the main authority in starts remaining be the start referee. Okay, and is the only person who has the disciplinary authority to show which discards yellow, red, and the one in under protest, the new one, red and white. These cards can only be used by the starts referee, and you have the technical cards of the starts. These ones, the yellow and black for the combined events, the red and black for the false start, and the green for to say that it was not any problem for the athletes, these cards are going to be used by the starter. Okay, the important of this, what is the important of this? To pay attention about the duties of the referees and the starters are different. The responsibilities are different, and the only who have the disciplinary authority is the referee. Yes. Any question up to here? Please raise your hand or write in the chat. I'm going to take some water. Okay, I will continue. The next change is the competition rule 25.4, the green text. It's not a change, it's a clarification of the letter R of retired. The R of retired, it's only used, I will repeat this because it's important, in the field events, not in the races, only in the field events. Individual events of combined events, but only in field events. And what is the R? What is retired? That the unequivocal will of the athlete is to now continue in this event. So when you're working as a referee, another athlete comes to you and say that he or she is not going to continue competing, my recommendation is to explain him or her that if he or she is going to retire, he cannot continue in this individual event. So if he or she ratified the decision, you are going to use the R in the in the results in the final results to say to confirm the unequivocal will of the athletes or being retired of the event. It's going to have a special explanation when you use this in in an individual event of the combined events. Why? Because sometimes some referees are confused about this. Remember that I said at the beginning of this slide that when the unequivocal will of the athlete in this individual event is going to retire, is retiring, he's going to have the year and to retire from this event. But this not imply a DNF in the at the combined events. For example, we are going to see inner results here. Here we have official results of the last World Championships in Tokyo 2025. Just as an example, the first athlete, Leo from Germany, he completed all the 10 events. In every event, he has marks, points, and the final points. Perfect, no problem. Here we have something different. This athlete, the 7184, in the pole vault, have a no mark, 0 in no mark, but he can continue in the other events. So here in the javelin he had a mark and point, and in the last event a mark and point. He could continue, and then he had a position and a final result. The next example is this. In the athlete in this athlete from Estonia, he has no mark in two events here, pole vault, one in the first season, first day, and the other in the second day, the pole vault. But in the last event, he had a DNF. He did not finish. What happens? 0 point. But it's not. This is not a problem. He's going to class. He's going to have a final points and a position in the final results. No problem. DNF. No problem. No mark. Okay. Something different is the Grenada athlete. He had no mark in pole vault here, no mark, retired. He was retired in the pole vault, 0 points. And in the next event, the next individual event, what is the javelin, he had the DNS. He did not start. The only obligation of the athletes of combined events is to start a competition. It's not required the bona fide effort, nothing more than start a competition. If he or she didn't start the competition, he is not going to have final position or points. He's going to have a DNF, did not finish as a final result. Okay, it's clear. The resume is that a retirement in an individual event of the combined event is not going to have any implicance more than a 0 points or what points he or she has in the competition. He or she can continue in the competition up to the end. Okay, it's clear. I hope so. The next one, competition rule 29, gathering point, call room 1. If you saw big events in our local events, almost in my country, I don't know yours, but I think it's the same. But in our events, we use only one call room, one general call room. But in big events like World Championships in Tokyo occurred, we have a gathering point or a call room 1 and call room 2 or a pre-call room and the call room, etc. When the team's manual, the competition manual, said that a gathering point of a call room 1 is going to be deployed, okay, all the athletes must to pass by it. It's mandatory to pass by the gathering point. Okay, it's an important part of the call room, and every issue, every disciplinary issue, every problem you have hit there, the referee of the call room is going to take action there. Okay, remember that in the gathering points you are not going to take, not going to have deep checks, only initial preliminary checks, identity bib number, no more than this, fight, fast and light control, like said in the slide, and then the athletes go escorted to the final call room when the place where you take control of the marketing issues, shoes, clothes, etc., etc., etc. Okay, it's clear. I think so. Okay. Okay, this is a big change. It's an editorial change, but it's a recommendation from the lawyers. You know that all the gender issues now are in the center of the focus. Okay, we are not going to talk more about universal events. We are going to talk about mixed event. It's more consistent for the gender regulations. Okay, this is important. And in the hand of this, we are not going about the categories. We are not going to talk more about gender categories, but we are going to talk about male category, female category, mixed category, and simultaneous category. Male and female, they are the sex by origin, the gender by origin, male or female. All the others situations, you have to read the eligibility regulation about chromosomal control, DSD, etc. It's a very deep topic to talk about. When you talk about mixed event, you have competing male and female in one competition with an unique classification. For example, if you make a marathon, a marathon with male and females with an unique classification, you are going to talk about a mixed event. But when you have an event with male and female, for example, long jump, give me 1 second. For example, in long jump, and you have separated classification, separated results, you are going to talk about simultaneous events. Any question up to here? In the chat box, please, or raise your hand. Claudinia, do you want to talk? I see you in the list of the participants.
No, I'm just here.
Okay. For your knowledge, Claudinia, Marcia and Irwin had personal issues, so I'm talking alone here. Okay. Okay, we are going to continue about the shoe regulations. This is not part of the competition or technical rules, but it's important to talk a little about this because we had in the last year several situations about shoes. First to know, the technical rule 5.2 in the green text about the shoe controls refers to specific World Athletics shoe rules. You know, in the World Athletics site, you have the shoe regulations, a full document, and a guides to use this. It's not expected for World Athletics to measure the sole thickness in the core room. It's not expected to make that. To be clear. What is more, it's not expected to check all the shoes in the core room. By the way, our competition commission in South American athletics recommends that in South American championships, when it's possible, you should check all the shoes in the core room. But the check in the core room, again, is not about measuring the sole of the thickness. It's just to check if the shoe of the athlete who is going to compete is or not approved for the specific events. And where you can check it, you have to put the mark and the model of the shoe here. So check that World Athletics that or she, and there you put all the marks and model of the shoe, and the site said that this shoe is approved for and that event. Okay, what is not allowed is prohibited. About the shoe rules, we have several guiding principles about, first of all, equity. All the athletes have to need to have the same conditions in the competition. So the equity is a central topic of the shoes. The other is the human effort. The technology, the use of technology can't not surpass the talent of the athletes. So it's important that the shoe that is going to be used by the athlete doesn't give him or her an special advantage than the other athletes. Then the innovation. Obviously, World Athletics know that innovations is at the center of the development of the big companies, Adidas, Nike, Puma, etc. So it's not the intention to not use innovation, but it's the intention to use equity. And finally, all the shoes must to complete to comply with health and safety issues to injury prevention, for example. To whom it doesn't apply this? The regulations, the shoe regulations says that it's not going to be applied in college competition, in clubs competitions, and in internal tests, neither in master events. But remember that if the owner of the event, for example, in master, the World Master Athletics, decides to make the control, you have to make the control. Okay? But it is mandatory to whom it applies in World Athletic Series events, World Championships, Olympic Games, Universiades, Diamond League, Continental Tour, Challengers, National Championships, selected road races, label, etc., Continental Champs, Continental Games. Every event when you have marks to be inserted in the ranking, the official ranking of World Athletics, it's mandatory to check in the way we are going to talk in few minutes, some shoes. In general, in events in stadium, in all events in stadium, no race walk. All events in stadium, no race walk. The thickness of the sole cannot be more than 20 millimeters. Then, in road events and in race walk, in road or track, the maximum of the thickness could be 40 millimeters. In trail and mountain races, you will not have any limit. You can run with any shoe, and in cross country between 20 and 40 millimeters. Uh, Prohibitional restrictions is this. This is the basis. It's prohibited the use of intelligent technology. You can use rigid structures, the carbon the plates. Yes, you can use, but only one and not overlap it. Okay, it's important. Then special situations. If you have special shoes, tailor-made shoes, they are prohibited directly. Special shoes and tailor-made shoes are prohibited. Customized shoes orthopedic requires an authorization from World Athletics, a special authorization for World Athletics from World Athletics. So you have to send an email there to rules worldathletics.org with information about the health situation and orthopedics needings, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Okay. Who must we inspect? Previously, I said to you that not all athletes must be inspected, but the inspection, the control of the shoes, it's have to be made like the doping control. Okay, the special regulation said that in events of Diamond League and gold events must to control a minimum of 7 athletes, silver, bronze, and challengers 5 athletes, and in case of world records, it's mandatory to take control of the shoes. What is the selection criteria? The official or the technical delegate decided whom to be inspected based on, whenever possible, the event and position. For example, the first place of an event, and the second place of other event, and the fifth place of a third event. Okay, the criteria is a head of the official of the technical or in the head of the technical delegate. You must to pay attention in the high impact events and when you have initial results in any event. Okay, but the important of this is that in the most important championships events, you have to check a minimum of shoes. For example, there in Diamond League, 7 athletes minimum, and the control is going to be as the doping control in post-event area, not at the core room. like said there. Place post-competition area after the mix zone. Never in the core room. The exception is like in South American athletics that where the competition commission said that if it's possible, you have to check, make the controls in the core room, and if the doping control is at the same time of the shoe control, always the priority is with the doping control. You have to let the athlete to go to a doping control, and then he or she is going to come back to the shoe control. The special control official need to have obviously an accreditation, a desk, and internet connections to access to the special site of the shoes, a camera to take photos of the shoes. Obviously, you can use your cell phone camera, clear bags to just in case of collection of the shoes. All the forms you have to complete and be ready for the action, like I said there. Uh, Step by step, how is the inspection process? The inspection process is simple. First, you have to identify the athlete by his or her ID, name, bib number, etc. Then you have to know, you have to check that if the athlete have in every moment the shoes in his control. Remember that the athlete has to need to have the shoes every time with him or he up to the post event area. Then you are going to make the verification. The verification consists in look the mark and the model in the site, and if it is approved, you are going to complete the forms, no anomaly, and the athlete can go ahead. If it is not in the list and there is no, sorry, if it is on the list and is not a world record, the process ends there. Remember. But if the official have any doubt or no compliance, sorry, about the shoe, the official must to take photos of the shoes, take notes in the form, in the special forms, and could take the shoes to a further control. Okay. Remember that the technical rules say that when an athlete compete with a shoe that it was not verified correctly, you are going to put in the result sheets and certificate tier 5.2. Yes, no identified shoe, not approved shoe, the two situations. And remember that every time you have a world record, except in under 20 records, a question could be if an area record is mandatory. No, it's not mandatory. The rules say that only in world records. You have to make as mandatory the collection of the shoes. You must retain the shoe, retaining only one of the shoes if they are the same, seal in the secure bag in front of the athlete. Okay, complete all the forms, give the receipt to the athlete, and send to an external review. You know that it's a special laboratory in Switzerland for world athletics who make the control. The destination is there in Lausanne. The cost of the shipping is going to be supported by the organizer of the event, and the athlete is going to be have the notification when anything occurs there. Okay, you have to warn to the athlete that in that situations, if it is needed, the shoe could be cutted. Okay, could be. It is in the forms. So in the World Athletics page, web page, you have all the standardized forms, a lot of them. This, as you see, is the declaration of shoes, This one is the check form. You said all the data of the athlete, the data of the shoe, the photos to have to be added, and the signature of the shoe control officer and the athlete. This is a chain of custody for form for shoes collected for further examinations. It's very important to complete all these forms. Okay. uh, and no more like this. Any question up to here in the chat box or raising your hands, please? Okay, I will continue. One more here. And now we are going to start with the technical rules to make easier the day of tomorrow. About the technical rules, this is just a terminology correction. In all the rules, we now are going to talk about umpires and auxiliary judges than judges and officials. In all the rules, competition and technical rules, it's taking is making this change. It's a terminology correction. So we are going from now to talk about umpires and auxiliary judges. Then this is something about choose. The technical rules 5.2 about choose said that the old rule said that the athletes can run with choose or without choose. The addition is with the addition of the changes that added that with a shoe in only one foot. It's more a clarification than other situation of this. Okay. Technical rule 4.3, 4.4, 7.3. Other terminology change. We are not going to talk more about simultaneous events than concurrent events. When we have the situation when an athlete is ratified in more than one event at the same time, for example, in long jump and in the race of 100 meters. So this is not going to be called more simultaneous event, but now it's going to be called as concurrent events. Okay, this is an important clarification. For me, it's important. I'm a lawyer, so all the appeal process are important and mandatory for me. Okay. Uh, one person in the chat box said that if it is possible to share the slide sheet, see, okay, yes, obviously. At the end of the seminar, we are going to share it. Don't worry. You know that when you're working as a referee, all the protest about a conduction of a qualification round or about a decision, the rule said that here the rule said that the athlete or the official had 30 minutes to make an appeal for that. But the discussion was 30 minutes from what time? From the decision of the referee? Yeah, it could be the fastest answer, the easiest answer, but in some situations we have a difference of minutes a big difference of minutes between the decision of the referee and the official communication of this decision. Uh, when the referee receives an oral protest at the moment, the most common is the referee solving this at this moment and communicating to the athlete or to the coach at this moment is no problem. But in some situations, the referees uh, make the decision that, but this decision is not communicated immediately to the athlete because he or she is not there, he or she is in the bathroom, he or she is not disponible. So when the 30 minutes to appeal is going to start. It's going to start at the same moment when the referee communicate the decision to the athlete or to the official in name of the athlete. And if the referee could not communicate the decision, it's from the communication from the CIT, the Technical Information Center. And what is important about that? As a referee, you must to take note in the results of the time of the decision and of the time of the notification of the decision. And if the communication is by the TIC must to take note of the time of the communication of this decision. For example, we have an event at 12 o'clock, the publication of results at 12:15. The protest to the referee could be held up to 12:45. Okay? In that example, the referee took the decision at 12:55, and the communication of the decision to the claimant by the referee or by the TIC it's held at 1 p.m. So the athlete or the representative of the athlete could make the appeal to the jury of appeal up to 13:30. Okay, it's important because if the appeal is not on time, it's going to be refused automatically. Sorry. I repeat, it's important for you as referees to take note about these 2 hours, the time of the decision and the time of the communication. It's very important this in international events and obviously in national events. About clothes, technical rule 5.1, the green text. It's only a clarification. Sometimes we have doubts a few years ago about some kind of clothes, but it is clarifying what had been done in last 3, 4, 5 years. Okay, the clothes must do not obstruct a clear and complete view of the knee area, especially in the race walk. Okay, so it's acceptable adhesive strips for therapy. It's allowed the use of leggings, but the most important is that these clothes or these adhesive strips do not obstruct a clear and complete view of the knee area. Okay, it's especially for the race walk. Sorry, I'm going to take some water. Okay, we continue. Technical rule 7.5, the green text. It's a clarification. It's an important clarification because a lot of times we have discussions, even between different referees with different opinions, about what happens when we have athletes with yellow cards in individual events and then athletes, the same athlete or other athlete with yellow card in a relays event. In this time, World Athletics, in this clarification, use the 3 examples to explain what happens. The first example is when an athlete A, has a yellow card in an individual event, and the same athlete has a yellow card in the relay. Okay? In this situation, the A athlete individually is going to receive a red card because he has 2 yellow cards. And the relay is going to be DQ because this individual athlete is DQ by RC. So the consequences of this situation is clear in the example. Individual event, red card, relay DQ. Second example, we have an athlete with a yellow card in an individual event. For example, in 200 dash. The athlete B, a second athlete with a yellow card in a relay. For example, in long jump, disciplinary issues, for example. Okay? This don't have consequences neither in individual or relays, because the athletes individually has only one yellow card, and in the relay is you don't have any card. Okay. And the case 3, you have the athlete A with a yellow card in an individual event, the athlete B with a yellow card in their relay, and the athlete C in the same relay race, a yellow card. What happens there? The relay is going to be DQ. Why? Because you have 2 yellow cards in the same relay, by C and B. Okay? But individually, no consequences, because every individual athlete has only one yellow card. Okay, these 3 examples are trying to clarify the situation that, I repeat, could be confused several times. We had a lot of discussions about this. We are finishing with the last 2 or 3 slides for today. This situation you are seeing in this photo is not permitted. It have an explanation. We are not going to talk about this. It has a real explanation, but you must know that no part of the starting blocks should cross the start line. Okay, no part of the starting blocks, neither the central part or the placed. No parts. All must to be before the start line. Okay, this example in the photo is not complying with these rules, but it has an explanation. And finally, here, this is the last one about the voices in the starts. Uh, Simple. In World Athletic Series, for example, World Championships, Continental Tours, etc. Olympic Games and Championships with members federation of different areas. For example, Pan American Games, Invitational World Athletic and area meetings, and World Athletics and area label. World races, the voices of the starts must to be given in English. And finally, in the other events, for example, national championships, the language in the start voices could be given in local languages. What time is it? Let me see something. No, we are going to start tomorrow with this. Please, if you have any question now, put it in the chat box or raise your hand here. Again, sorry about my English. I'm doing my best about this, and I'm trying to be clear for all of you. So, if no any question, I don't know if Claudia is here. Claudia is the coordinator from South American Athletics for this seminar and all the seminars in about rules. Maybe she's here. Claudia Schneck from Brazil. She want to say something?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect.
I don't know if you can see me,
Yes.
but okay. I'm in another video
Yeah.
conference. Sorry about it. Your English is perfect. For me, it's much better than English, natural English. So it's very well done. So tomorrow you can continue, and it's nice to hear from you the new rules. Not the new rules, but the changes.
Claudia, did you say today we had another amendment of the rules? We have a new one
Today,
today. Yes.
yeah, yeah. Yesterday I checked it, and yesterday we didn't have anything.
Today morning.
Okay,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
yeah. So because of that, we need to do this more times,
Yeah.
maybe more times a week. I don't know, not just a year.
Okay, to everyone. If you don't have any question, thank you about your presence here, and see you tomorrow at the same time.
See you. Kisses.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. It was very clear. Thank you. Till tomorrow.